Running Point Season 2, now available to stream on Netflix, has some structural issues, but the sophomore season of Mindy Kaling, Ike Barinholtz, and David Stassen's professional basketball-themed sitcom allows Kate Hudson to shine through the cracks. Throughout its inaugural season, Running Point made it clear that it knew how to be multifaceted. The series was simultaneously about family, professional sports, workplace politics, and romance all at once, and though it didn't always balance things perfectly, Hudson's Isla Gordon always got the job done. In Running Point Season 2, which brings back the same core cast from its first season along with more screen time for Justin Theroux's Kem Gordon, we find Isla between a rock and a hard place. As the president of operations of her family's professional basketball team, the Los Angeles Waves, she's been able to make some positive changes coming out of her rocky but successful first season. With Cam back from rehab, however, things are tough as the dynamics between Isla and her siblings, including Scott MacArthur's Ness, Drew Tarver's Sandy, and Fabrizio Guido's Jackie, continually shift with the business success. While Running Point Season 2 stories are clear, the series struggles with sustained drama. As a sitcom, Running Point often features quick-to-resolve issues, but the show's ability to tie up loose ends without lasting repercussions quickly becomes too formulaic. Thankfully, the series is anchored by Hudson's performance, which could, and does, carry a level of charm that lends authenticity to Running Point's most formulaic moments. Running Point Season 2 falls into typical sitcom traps. Although Running Point's first season established it as a workplace sitcom with family elements, the strong suit of the series from the jump was its ability to weave through different sitcom tropes with ease. The show's second season struggles on this front, which makes it tough to find its core identity. As Isla and her siblings grew closer throughout Running Point Season 1, viewers figured out how to map their relationships. Now, with their relationship cemented, there's a bit more uncertainty when it comes to the rest of the series. Throughout the season, the supporting cast of Running Point grows, but their roles often muddy the larger dynamics at play. While the show still feels unique, it vacillates too often between styles to feel like it's landing anywhere for long. Storylines between Isla and love interests, business rivals, and potential partners tend to feel more mechanical than authentic. Rather than Isla building relationships for herself or the business, they feel like they're simply there to push the plot forward. Storylines can sometimes feel too trope-heavy throughout Running Point Season 2, one involving Cam specifically feeling cartoonish in nature, which made it tough to understand where the story was headed. While it was interesting to see the core cast of characters build up more of their lives outside the office, the Gordon siblings often felt like they were siloed into stories that didn't introduce new information, but instead flattened opportunities for growth. Though I did spend a fair bit of time laughing while watching Running Point Season 2, it was tough to step out of the season feeling like there hadn't been much of a shift outside what I'd come in expecting to see change. Running Point Season 2's secret weapon is Kate Hudson's ability to form chemistry with anyone image via Netflix. Running Point's true secret weapon, from the start, has been Hudson's portrayal of Isla. A richly funny character, Hudson brings a certain cash to the role, oozing charm at every chance. While Isla's journey throughout Running Point Season 2 isn't always logical and certainly isn't linear, watching Hudson on screen with any scene partner is phenomenal. The way Hudson builds Isla's rapport with each of her siblings is nuanced, the moments of friendship and womanhood with Brenda Song's Ollie Lee feel authentic, and her connection with former coach Jay Brown, Jay Ellis, sizzle. There are some other moments that stood out for Hudson's Isla throughout Running Point Season 2, and while they're more episodic fodder, her ability to move through the story with a command of who Isla is and how she operates is astounding. The material on Running Point doesn't always feel like it has a sense of direction, but Hudson is able to wrestle it into submission regardless of what she's doing or who she's with. She keeps Running Point on track, and salvages some of the more difficult moments of the season. Despite the fact that Hudson could probably have chemistry with a brick, her relationships aren't the only ones playing out on screen. The rest of Running Point's cast is wickedly funny, with honorable mention for MacArthur and Tarver as their roles grow during Season 2. Chet Hanks' Travis Bug also deserves special recognition, as viewers get to see his eternally cringy character in a whole new and somehow more hilarious light this season. Running Point Season 2's story is flimsy, but still feels good courtesy of Netflix. While Running Point Season 2 isn't able to move through its stories as efficiently as its first outing, the season as a whole still feels fluid. Loose ends are tied up, typically quite quickly and without much follow-through, and viewers will find themselves moving through emotions with the characters. The stories still feel authentic and layered, and the dynamics between characters are what ultimately save the season from falling apart because of its sometimes flimsy plot. Running Point's issues stem from the fact that the show is playing into too many problems at once, then wrapping them up neatly with sitcom precision. While the stakes of the Wave season are meant to be high, they often don't feel weighty enough as the season continues on. Despite knowing that the Wave's business relies on the team doing well, and those surrounding the team, like its halftime dancers and sponsors, staying happy, the issues that come about are often resolved so easily that they don't carry an emotional impact. Running Point Season 2's highlights come from its interpersonal relationships and the character dynamics that bubble up to the surface from the show's cast interacting, even in minor moments. With guest roles and cameos that are sure to delight, Running Point's lighthearted comedy is quick to binge, easy to keep up with, and though it doesn't always know where it's going, ensures that it's steady enough to hopefully win a third season.